All right, I'll play the video.
How can we be who we're meant to be based on the vision of our faith? That if we're denied the right to employ and engage people and even present what we believe is the true nature of the human person.
Where we get our hope from as Christians is that Jesus is still on the throne. That's not changed.
And the government have effectively creating blasphemy laws to outlaw Christianity, the foundation of our nation.
When children will be greeted by staff asking them, which pronouns are you using? What do you mean? They are confusing kids unnecessarily.
So that's why the Bible is our foundation for the communion. Of course, Christ is our foundation for salvation. And we follow him when we follow the words of the Bible.
But we have to see the bigger picture. If we don't get everything we want this time around, well, that's no reason to give up. You keep fighting more.
It wasn't until Christians said, yeah, you killed your babies, what are you going to do about this? God had a solution, but the solution wasn't going to be effective if I didn't first acknowledge that I needed that solution.
Right. We are here until we have a law which allows babies to have the same rights as everybody else, and we're not going to go away. I can guarantee that we won't.
May we continue to boldly stand as a light in the darkness, a voice for truth and a force for good.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another live episode of the Here I Stand podcast, a podcast produced by the Young Conservatives for Christ, also known as the YCFC. This podcast is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And today, John and I are very lucky to be joined by an amazing guest, who is the National Engagement Officer for Family Voice Australia, Martin Proctor. Welcome to the podcast.
G'day, thanks for having me.
Awesome, yeah. And we have a lot of amazing or diverse topics to discuss this evening, but one in particular that it's just occurred recently is the Babies Born Alive bill. So would you? I actually don't know as much about it as John and Martin. So if you would like to talk about it and the significance of it and what's actually happening.
Yeah, sure. I can do that. I guess just for the viewers and for everyone listening, if they're not aware, Lou O'Brien, who is a National Party MP from Queensland, he's LNP. He introduced a bill, his Babies Born Alive bill, and really what it does is it tries to give palliative care to babies that have survived a failed abortion, right? So the baby is now born and they're alive. And often those babies are will eventually die. They're often early enough in term that they won't survive long term. They're not viable. But right now there's no guidelines around the care for them. So this is very much a palliative care move, and also just to highlight the inconsistencies in our laws about who we recognize as human beings. So he moved that on Monday. That happened on Monday down in Parliament. I was down there for that, on behalf of Family Voice. And then ACL also had their baby booties. They put a big cross out on the lawn in front of Parliament House that had all these little baby booties that had been donated to represent the number the number of children that we're losing due to abortion. So those two events coincided on the Monday, and that was really good to just have a lot of. We had One Nation senators. We had Barnaby Joyce, who's One Nation MP. We had Matt Canavan, leader of the Nationals, come and talk at this Baby Booties launch. And yeah, so it was really good to just kind of keep that message that there are people fighting for the babies.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is something that's come up a couple of times now. I think George Christensen and Alex Antic have both brought up their own bills previously regarding this issue. So now this is the third time that this has come up, and it's been, it's going to be rejected again, unfortunately.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, John. So yeah, this is pretty much the reintroduction of the George Christensen bill, and then there was an attempt to do something pretty much identical in the Senate with Antic and Matt Canavan, and I think Ralph Babette and maybe Malcolm Roberts co-sponsored it.
I think so.
Yes, but, you know, and there's a lot to be said for the debate time expired on the Monday. The government is going to play the typical games that they play and kind of shelf the push debate away and try not bring it to a vote because they don't want to vote on this. They don't want their voting record marred by having to vote on these issues because it obviously is still pretty difficult for some of maybe the more old school Labour Party MPs to deal with. You know, their party is tracking in a pretty radical direction, and they have, it puts them into a difficult position. And then, quite frankly, the LNP or the Liberal Party doesn't want to deal with it either. They'd rather kind of forget about this issue, even though we commend Lou O'Brien for his bravery and Matt Canavan in the National Party for their support. Probably the LNP are kind of squishy on the issue. But yeah, I think conscious that I'm talking a lot, but I think one of the big take homes for everyone about this is maybe two things would be: one, contact Lou O'Brien and say job well done, because it's a big political risk. That sounds funny to say when it's doing the right thing, but it is a big political risk. Doing the right thing, and us as Christians in particular should be able to honor those that do it right. So he's done something right and good. So he's worthy of that honor. So we should say thank you. And it's something that we often fail at doing. We often fail at saying thanks for putting in the effort and doing something that, quite frankly, he didn't have to do. So,
Yeah, no, really fair point. And I think even though it almost certainly won't get over the hill this time, I think in the future, I think we're seeing the Overton window is turning slowly. We saw the abortion bill that Sarah Gain brought for the third time in South Australia a couple of months ago, and that passed the upper house because of One Nation, which was amazing to see. First ever time that's happened. But it didn't pass the lower house by a fair margin. But the fact that it got to that stage is a remarkable thing of the pro-life movement, that people have been raising their voice up about this issue. And I'm looking at a Stephen Miles post that he put up 2 days ago about this Babies Born Alive bill, and I'll quickly bring it up. And he said, "Another day, another LNP man trying to dictate women's healthcare. The last time there were attempts to introduce this bill, its premise was debunked, and it was described by experts as hurtful and misleading. The type of rhetoric hiding behind this bill has the potential to be inflammatory, to cause hurt to parents already grieving loss." And that's so spineless. I mean, like there's no substance behind anything he's saying, and everyone pretty much wasn't happy. One person said, "Real men fight for the vulnerable." One person said, "I'm really sad for Stephen Miles and others who don't believe in the sanctity and value of every individual human life. Giving babies compassion and care is the right thing to do." Actually, this has nothing to do with women's healthcare. This is about babies who have been born receiving medical care, basic human rights. Hope this helps. And on it goes. All these people saying what he said is wrong. And so we're seeing that stuff like this, comments on social media, that this anti abortion movement is actually getting a lot more popular. So I think there's certainly hope that if we keep pushing in the next couple of years, that we'll see a bill pass, and then we can keep going, and we can bill by bill, we can hopefully save all the babies.
Yeah, and I think there's a few things there. This is obviously not a hot take. You know, it's I've seen other people say it, but Stephen Miles says, and that comment he said about, this is insensitive to parents that are already grieving. Well, grieving what, right?
Yeah.
Grieving loss.
Yeah.
Loss of what? loss of
Yeah.
their baby, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's through miscarriage or stillbirth or whatever
Yeah.
the situation,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
recognize that they're grieving the loss of a baby, their
Yeah.
little baby that they probably picked out a name for,
Yeah.
that they had hopes and dreams for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so to then be like, oh, this is some scaremongering bill. Well, then what are people grieving over? You know,
Yeah.
he's trying to
Yeah.
he's trying to use victims' pain or tragedy
Right.
for his own political gain, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's pretty heart wrenching, right? Because then at the
Mm.
same time he's also
Mm.
denying the life and the uniqueness of that baby. So yeah, pretty crazy. But just one
Mm.
thing that you were talking about, John,
Mm.
was the South Australian
Mm.
victory,
Yeah.
uh, or and I think there we can see that there is momentum shifting,
Mm.
and I think you
Yeah.
highlighted something that's pretty
Yeah.
important that people might not want to recognize is that it passed the upper house because of the One Nation MLCs,
Yeah.
and then it was brought to a vote on the lower house because the Labour Party wanted to kill the conversation, right? They
Yeah.
wanted to stop the campaign, stop people talking about this,
Mm.
because ultimately we know, and they know this as well, is that truth will win out, right?
Yeah.
So they don't want
Mm.
people talking about what does abortion actually mean? What does killing a baby actually do
Mm.
uh, to the woman and and obviously to the baby? But
Yeah.
they don't want
Mm.
these conversations out there, so they try to guillotine the debate and the campaign. And I think as Christians, it's upon us to not allow them to gag us,
Mm.
right? We've
Yeah.
seen that in Queensland.
Mm.
The LNP government in Queensland's gagged debate on abortion.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot talk about the Termination of Pregnancy Act. Well, as
No.
Christians, we shouldn't just sit silent. If we sit silent, then we're allowing
Yeah.
evil to triumph, right? We're
Yeah.
we're
Mm.
being enablers of that evil by not standing up and saying, actually, that human needs protection. That human
Yeah.
needs equal protection
Yeah.
as much as you and I.
No,
Mm.
100%. And I think
Yeah.
it's a famous quote to that effect, bad things happen when good people do nothing.
Mm.
So if we aren't willing to stand up, then someone else is going to stand up for what they believe in. And that's the whole reason why Christians should be involved in politics, because if we don't make our
Mm.
voice heard on all of these important issues, someone who completely disagrees with us is going to. And that's what's happened over the past 20, 30, 40 years. And that's
Yeah.
why we're in the state we're in as a country.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm reminded of the idea that it won't always be popular to speak these things.
Mm. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
think of John the Baptist. John the Baptist
Mm.
loses his head
Yeah.
because he calls the king. He calls out the wickedness of the king for taking his brother's
Mm.
wife. So
Yeah.
he declared a Christian truth.
Mm.
And he was bold in that, and then it cost him his life. Uh,
Mm.
and he was doing the exact same thing that the Apostle Paul is doing or was doing with King Agrippa, with
Mm.
Felix, when
Mm.
when he stands before them and declares the gospel. Yeah,
Mm.
there's different outcomes in each situation, but the Apostle Paul then later says, when in one of his letters he says, he's asking the people to pray that he would have boldness, that he might
Mm.
utter what he needs to say. So
Yeah.
that's important for
Yeah.
us as Christians to have the boldness.
Yeah.
Definitely. And we need the church as well, to support us and to guide us.
Mm.
The blood of the martyrs is the sin of the church. So we need the
Mm.
church to, and we do
Mm.
see this is happening slowly, but if we're actually to make significant change, we need the church with us,
Mm.
guiding us
Yeah.
as well.
Mm.
And we
Yeah,
saw. Oh no, sorry, you go, Martin.
yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, I mean, that boldness needs to be everywhere, right? The Apostle
Mm.
Paul
Mm.
went to the synagogues, and because he's trying to tell the people that Christ was the Messiah, so he
Mm.
went to the congregation of the people, and
Mm.
he's teaching there, and he had boldness there, and he gets thrown out. You know, don't go and agitate during the church service, obviously, right? But there's this same principle that we need the boldness to declare the truth, and then from there he went out declaring the same truth to the leaders of the nation, to the people in the marketplace. He had no distinction when it came to the people needing the gospel, and then that gospel impacting your whole life and and the people around you as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we see with that at the same time when I think it was Peter and John and some of the other disciples, they were speaking in the temple courts, and they were brought in and they were put in prison. And the Pharisees are like, "What are we going to do with them?" Or the Sadducees, I forget which one it was. And they're like, "What are we going to do with them?" And they're like, "If it's from God, it'll go away. I mean, you can't do anything to stop it. But if it's not, then it'll disappear, like all these rebel movements." And so they whipped them and they let them go, and then they just went back to preaching again. Like they didn't back down, they didn't compromise, they just went back to doing exactly what God called them to do.
Yeah, and we need that. We need that boldness. Whether the bill loses in South Australia or never gets debated again in the federal parliament, is I don't want to say irrelevant, but our witness as Christians, we just need to keep fighting and keep declaring the truth. And you want to do that in a loving, compassionate way. If you have not charity, you're like sounding brass. So you want to do it with charity and moved by love, but we also need to recognize that it needs to have the firmness that we're on the side of the great judge, right? We're on the side of the Creator.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And another thing we wanted to chat about was that National Flag Day is coming up. I actually didn't even know this was a thing until you mentioned it, Martin.
National Flag Day is the 3rd of September, and it's a pretty cool story. So the national flag, the Australian national flag, was designed by public competition. So the new Commonwealth, that when we federated, created a public competition to design a national flag, and there was five co-equal first place winners, because pretty much their designs were identical, and then the 3rd of September in Melbourne was the first time. In 1901 was the first time that flag was raised. So then it became National Flag Day. So I know in Brisbane, I'm in Brisbane. I know the Brisbane City Council will have a service where they raise the flag and they commemorate that. And there's a few schools round about up here in Queensland that will have National Flag Day services and events like that. So I would encourage everyone to see if there's an event on. If there's not an event, you can ask for flags from your local MP, and then put up a flag. Like it's an important thing. And maybe just on that, if I can, John, we've got Robbie Katter up here in Queensland introduced a bill into the state parliament to protect the national flag, to criminalize burning the national flag. And so that's something he's doing to try and protect the national flag, make it a crime in Queensland to burn our national flag. And I had the opportunity to go and give a bit of testimony about why Family Voice thinks that we should defend our flag. And one of the things that I mentioned was there's a lot of Christian history in our flag. So you've obviously got, we might be aware of this, but we've got the Southern Cross. But then in the Union Jack is the English and the Scots and the Irish flag that are all flags of the patron saints of those nations. So it's
I think Saint Michael, Saint George.
The
forget
Scottish
the other ones.
I need to know the Scottish one because I'm from Scotland. So that's St Andrews, St Andrews Cross. and then
Yep.
Ireland is St. Patrick's, and then
Yep.
Patrick's, yeah.
Michael's and St.
And
George.
St. George.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and so the three of them show that these nations consider themselves Christian nations. That these nations were identifying with this heritage, and those three flags formed the Union Jack, and then we, recognizing both our Christian heritage but also our British roots, have this Union Jack on our flag, and so, but it was pretty incredible to be able to use that opportunity to use that opportunity to of our flag at the public hearing, because a lot of people don't know the history of the flag.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I've heard some people, because this was a topic that was especially popular last year and a bit this year, that about the burning of the Australian flag, and I think it should be criminalised as well. But some people said it's a freedom of speech thing, like that we shouldn't ban burning the flag. I think that's stupid. I'm curious what do you think on that?
Yeah, well, there's a few things. First, often people will go to the First Amendment in America. So there's a lot of case law in America that says that burning the American flag is a First Amendment right. So the Americans are allowed to burn their flag, and then people will just kind of copy and paste and use that in the Australian setting. I think that takes it kind of stretches your freedom of speech to the desecration of something material. Then people will say, yeah, but I bought the flag, I own the flag, like it's my property. I think as much as I'm against a lot of, or most, if not all, the hate speech laws and restrictions on your freedom of speech, I think the one thing that we can't allow is burning the national unifying symbol of a nation, right? If we allow people to continue to denigrate the one symbol that's meant to unify everyone in the nation, well, at what point? At what point do we have a nation? You know, we're struggling with social cohesion, and we allow people to burn the flag. And why are they doing it? They're doing it to deliberately provoke other people. No one just burns the flag without the intention of sowing division and provoking others. So I think, yep, you could be a free speech absolutist. Okay, well then let's get rid of 18C and all these other bad things, and we'll deal with and before sometimes before you fight someone who wants to protect the flag, because it's the Australia that we know that embodies those freedom of speech values, right? The other thing I would just say in relation to that, very quickly, in Queensland, the Christopher LNP government has outlawed certain phrases in Queensland. So if you say certain politically charged phrases, you can get yourself in some trouble. And although I don't agree with outlawing phrases, my simple question would be, and I asked the committee at the hearing, well, then why can't we protect the national flag? If you think that you can outlaw, that you have the mandate to outlaw these phrases for public safety, surely the national flag merits protection. And I didn't get I didn't get a satisfactory answer. I didn't really get an answer at all.
You never do.
You know. But that would be that to answer your question, John. I would just say, yeah, you can be there. There will be some people that are free speech absolutists. I'm not one of them, and I think we can make a special provision for our national flag.
It's at the March for Free Speech, which is next week across Australia. There's a one flag policy, and that's the Australian flag. I think that says everything about the movement of free speech, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and I support that. I agree with that. I mean, that sounds like a real smart policy to me, and I would back that, you know. And why what I don't understand is why are we not already honoring and protecting our flag?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
there's one answer, which is we didn't have to in the past, right? If you burnt the flag in the street, 50 years ago, you might have been making it home. Uh, uh, you might have been in a lot of pain, right?
Yeah.
Putting it in a kind of polite way. And now we've got to a situation where our social cohesion is so destroyed and tattered that you can get away with burning the flag in the street.
Yeah.
And so now, and in order to kind of put Humpty Dumpty back together again, in order to put society back together, we actually do need to say, look, you can't be burning our flag, our nation's flag on the street, deliberately trying to denigrate the nation that's giving you safety and trying to provoke people into division. It's just pretty simple, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. And it's interesting that recently, I don't know which council it was, but one of the councillors moved to make sure that all signage that has foreign languages has to have English as well. And there's been like debate on this. Like this is such like a common sense thing. Like we have one native common language. We have one native common flag. We have so many things that are common, and we can't unite around those simple things.
Yeah, we hadn't prepared to talk about this, but technically we don't have an official language or a national language for Australia. So English is the default national language, but there's nowhere that actually makes it explicit that English is our national language.
Wow.
Yeah, what's again, this goes back to the flag thing because we never had a problem, like if 90% or 100% of people are speaking English, why do we need to tell everyone, hey, we speak English? Well, you don't need to tell, you don't need to have a rule around that. But once you have a breakdown and now you have districts where there is no English or there's predominant foreign language signs, all of a sudden now we need to start dealing with this issue. And I just happen to know a little bit about this, but in America there was an official English language movement. So there was a movement in America to make English the official language, and a bunch of the states have put it have pieces of legislation that declare English as their official language now. And I think when Trump got re-elected, one of his executive orders, I believe, was to make English the official language. So it's something that's happening in America. They're seeing this issue and they're legislating on it. So I think we're only going to see more of that motion at that local council level. We're only going to see more and more of that as our society struggles with division. Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. I'm actually it's a lot more common than people think, because I think a lot of people, like, they probably live in the same place their whole life, and they don't get outside of where they live a lot, so they'll only understand what they see in front of them. But there's a lot of neighborhoods that are one culture that isn't Australian, like the suburbs here down in Victoria, that are like either like majority, like, I don't know, Chinese or Afghani or African. And there's nothing against races or anything like that, but if we're not assimilating, we can't have social cohesion. And I see it in my place of work, retail, like theft is through the roof. it's a common reality in most retail stores with that, and then we can't even actually do anything about it. And I think that's why we should have castle law. But I think unless we come back to like addressing the root of the problem, we can't ever fix what's going on. And we've talked about this with Dave Pello a number of episodes ago, where he was saying that abortion is the root of the problem of mass immigration. The reason why we have to have a mass immigration is because our birth rate has dropped way below replacement level. Like in the last century, it was somewhere above three children being born per woman. Now, replacement level is about just over two. I think it's like 2.1 something. And we're currently sitting around 1.5. And
People
that's
having
because
pets, not kids. I
exactly.
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
It's
Yeah. There's heaps to unpack there. I just want to rewind a little and say
yeah.
about these suburbs. It's interesting. They are socially coherent areas, right? That's we have to recognize that first, right? One, they have a cohesion, they have a unity, but it's not a unity for the whole, right? So
Yeah.
Australia is struggling with social cohesion and with unity and identity, but these suburbs become enclaves, of a foreign diaspora, a foreign population. They've still got their social cohesion, but it's breaking up essentially the host culture, right?
Yeah.
So that's one aspect to kind of just draw out um that's important to, I think, identify, right? Then and you can see that because they're using their language, they're keeping a cohesion, but it's breaking up the widespread use of English. And so we probably need to shift away uh from multiculturalism to integration, and language is a good way is a proxy. It's often a good proxy. And then what you're saying about um we get to all these problems, and a lot of the time, you mentioned abortion. We have immigration because of abortion, um, and then we have these issues with burning the flag and castle law and official language legislation because of the immigration. Like, it's very hard to unscramble an egg, and all these things are obviously pretty interconnected, right? People come and they interact with all the facets of life. They don't just, oh, we need more, we need more shoemakers, and we get more shoes. No, they're going to interact with every aspect of life, and start changing the culture and the suburb. Yeah.
Yeah. No, really good points. Yeah. Riley, did you have something else?
Yeah, it's a scrambled egg, all right. Um, and do you think we can ever get back what we once had?
No, it's too late. We're going to hell in a handbasket.
Uh,
Well, uh, that is an interesting question, Riley. I think, as I say, as I stall for an answer, that's a classic when you don't have an answer. That's a very good question. Let me think about it. But sometimes I think we come back. We always ask the question, can we go back? Can we go back? Um, the most pressing question is probably, what do we do going forward? Right? So I know that might sound like semantics, but okay, can we go back? Well, airplanes are faster. We've got this, we've got that. There's things that are not going to be reversed. So now, how do we deal with solutions as opposed to kind of pining for a past, right? I'm a bit of, I kind of like, I don't want to necessarily say a traditionalist, but There's certain things that I like, but I don't think it's realistic to be to pick a point in the history book and go, yeah, I really liked the suits back then, or the powdered wigs back then. So then, or the beards back then. So let's go back there. Like, instead, what we actually have to do is we have to go, okay, this is the situation we're in, and as as relatively young people. I think I can say that. I'm 31. I can say I'm young.
Yeah.
You're
in.
We then need to go, okay, but what's the future? What am I going to do in the next 20 years? What am I? And then also, let's take it back to the biblical principle. The Bible tells us about leaving an inheritance to our children's children. So let's have a long-term view of the future, right? It doesn't say, think back to your great grandfather. Like that, you need to honor your mother and father. That's clear. But you need to leave an inheritance to your children's children. So let's be future focused, and that is often, I think, better at getting solutions out of people. So that didn't really answer the question. Can we get back to something? But why can't we be better than what we were? Right? Why can't Australia be an empire? I'm only
controversial.
I'm only joking.
We ditch the Commonwealth. We take New Zealand. We go for the islands.
Yeah. I'm just
funny.
saying, London. Why don't we conquer it? No.
Yeah, they've had their time.
Yeah, they had their turn. It's our turn. No, but that's just a cheeky way to say, why can't we expect better? Why can't we aim bigger? Right?
Yeah.
Just a bit of tongue in cheek to then say, we don't need to go back. We can do better.
Yeah. That's very refreshing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. How much more time do you have, Martin? Otherwise, we could go on to another topic and we can keep going, but I don't want to hold you longer than you can stay.
Yeah, I might bail out, but I'm keen. I've really enjoyed this. Hopefully I haven't been too boring. And
No.
Not at all.
Yeah,
No.
and I'm keen to come back if you'll have me back.
We'll have you back if you stay for longer.
Yeah, okay, that's a good deal. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, okay.
Right. Yeah.
Right, I might bounce out then.
Yeah, did you have anything family voice related you want to share before you pop out?
That is a good question. Yes, we're always doing things. In Queensland at the moment, we're supporting Castle Law, the bill to protect the flag. We're doing candidate forums along with you guys in Victoria. So if people go to Family Voice website or find us on Facebook, they can keep up to date with everything that we're doing. Yeah.
Wait. Cheers.
Awesome.
Thank you, Martin.
All right.
Appreciate having you on.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Awesome.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
Right, bye.
Well, there we go. That was very good, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, that was a really interesting conversation about the flag. And I actually didn't know the history. I didn't know that it was suggestions. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I didn't know it either. We should have Christopher Reynolds back on to talk about that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
We should do a panel discussion. Anyways, we could go on. Right. Okay. Well, we've got a few other things to talk about. One thing is the ASIO bill that passed today. Tell us about this ASIO bill, Riley.
Well, it's quite disappointing what's happening. And just to kind of give like a brief summary of what this bill is, it's giving the authority, so ASIO, which is our spy, it's like our spy agency almost, isn't it, John?
Yeah,
like our
Australian Security Intelligence Organization. I think it's sort of, it's like the FBI of Australia.
or like Gestapo. So
Oh, okay, yeah, that's better. Yeah.
guess that's better. Yeah. So what they're doing is they're taking our rights away by so if even if you're not under investigation, direct investigation, they have the authority to keep you um incarcerated for, is it what is it now? They've changed it to
I'm just bringing it up now. I'm trying to see if I can find it. It's probably a number of years.
e-
Oh no, this is no help to me at all.
so it's just taking the rights away from non-convicted people, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
And so just yeah, regular people. And yeah,
Well,
it's
I know
not
one.
ethical,
Yeah, I know one
I would
thing they
say.
said the bill could do is they could take you in for questioning without any charges,
Mm,
um, and that if you tell anyone that this has happened, that they'll come back for you again, even if there's no charges laid, there's no criminal liability. Basically the onus is on you to prove that you're not guilty, rather than for them to prove that you are guilty, which is against our whole system of common law that you're innocent until proven guilty. That's the whole premise of our Western society, and now they've just ripped that out from under us.
yeah, I think you summarized it better than me. Yeah, so even if you've done nothing wrong, you're not convicted or investigated or anything at all, you're innocent.
Yeah.
Um, they have the authority to do that, which is scary. So I know that having a political opinion now can get you killed, like Charlie Kirk was killed for having a
Mm.
political opinion.
Yeah.
And now the government is pretty much saying, the government itself is as an institution, which I mean, yeah, like it's crazy. It's just a political opinion, and because someone disagrees with you, go to the rally for free speech on the 30th of August across Australia. It's in
Yeah.
major cities across Australia. Go to the rally with an Aussie flag. I'll be at the one in Sydney. A few other people from the YCFC are also planning on coming. So be there or be square. Because bills like
Literally.
this are eroding our freedoms and our rights.
Yeah. And I'm just looking at the votes. Actually, I'll share my screen. So then everyone can see this. This is voted on today, and it passed. And that's because 58 people from Labor, they voted for the bill. Oh wait, no, hang on. Why are these no's? Why are they no's? That can't be right.
Oh, did not go through.
No, no, it did go through.
Oh, this is
Everyone's majority.
2025.
What is it?
Yeah.
No, you know what? No, but no, no, no. But yeah, the bill. I think the bill was introduced last year.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My apologies.
No,
Yeah.
that's all right. Oops, I've lost it now. Come on, come back, come back. Guess who's back? Okay.
Fitch
Wait,
back
so this,
again.
yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
that was an amendment. That's what that was.
Okay.
I know these government websites so well. Like you can tell. I mean, okay. Right. Okay. So these are all the people that voted for it. I think. Is this the Senate? No, no. This is the House of Reps.
Yeah. So would they
Uh,
all be Labour, Greens, Liberal? They're all the same thing at this point.
wait,
And then
what?
just One
Yeah. No,
Nation
no,
and
no, no, no.
Nats on the other. Yeah.
Well, no, because and if I can find this moment thing, um, that what happened was uh, Labor voted for the bill,
Yeah.
and gosh, Labor voted for the bill, The Liberals walked out. They did not even vote on the bill.
Oh,
They abstained. They didn't have the guts to be like, oh yeah, we're going to vote against this. They're like, we're stepping out of the room.
wow.
One
Yeah.
name,
Who?
Pauline Hanson did too, but she said the reason why is because the outcome was inevitable, so there was no point. But the Liberals haven't offered a reason why.
They're so weak.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It is. It
They
is
have no
disgusting.
spine. Like, no wonder everyone calls them the Uni Party. It's so obvious.
What did Fishback said it? It's the two wings to the same bird. It's the left and the
Yeah.
right, and now we have one nation. I mean, the Liberal Party, the Nats are okay. I don't mind the Nats to an extent. I like their
They're okay.
nuclear power is their stance on that's pretty good, I must say. But apart from
Yeah.
that, I can't think
Like,
of other. Oh, gun reform, guns.
oh
That's
yeah.
I support them on that. But
Yeah, the Nationals have been good, but now they're not needed. One Nation are going to take most of their seats. Like, I like Matt Canavan, Lou O'Brien. Like,
yeah,
there's a few really good ones in there.
yeah.
But like, if you're not going to stand up all the time, then we don't need you. We're sending you home. We're bringing in someone else who can do the job.
What about Angus Taylor?
He's better than Dutton or Susan Lay, but by like a smidge.
Well,
Yeah, so you go.
well, yeah. Well, the other day, I went and heard Tony Abbott talk, and he said the reason why Susan Lee got that position was only because of agenda. So he said,
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Because they were like,
and
oh yeah, they have a women problem. And all that sort of
yeah,
stupid.
and it
Ridiculous
only
stuff.
made them less popular, which is ironic,
Yeah,
to say the
literally.
least.
They're like, oh yeah, this is gonna make us more popular. Everyone's gonna like us. And they're like, oh, why did you do that? We don't like you.
Oh, they know they're cooked, but
Yeah.
it's just
Well,
yeah,
do
they're
they?
just
Well, I didn't think they do. I think they still think there's a way forward. I just hope they die already, because with
whoa, whoa.
that was not a literal threat. That was a theoretical threat.
You
That they
can't
would
say
not
that in
die.
1984.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I don't want them to physically die. I want the party to dissolve. Is that enough clarification so that I don't go to jail for saying nothing?
You might get the ASIO bill just passed today.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Everybody watches this
Yeah,
podcast. I'm done.
bro. Fira Albanese's coming for you.
Yeah, literally.
It's so unethical. The
Yeah.
bills. So you want to kill kids, you want to vote to kill kids, but you want to
Yeah.
take our rights away to speak. This is God's country? No, it's not. This is not God's country.
Yeah.
I posted that the other day. It's God's country. It once was, but it's
Yeah.
it's going to hell in a handbasket. It's
Unless we turn the ship around by the grace of God, then we are doomed.
it's crazy too because Albo's a Catholic, and then so was Kevin Rudd. What type of Catholic are they?
They're not.
They're
Well,
not. They're not Christian.
even Daniel Andrews said he was a Catholic.
That's so. Oh my gosh.
It's just a name. That's all it is.
All it is for votes. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. It's
crazy.
just.
So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to see if I can find these votes. I'm still looking for it because that's a gambling reform. No. I'll find it.
We're paying these people to take our rights away from us. I love it.
That's literally what's happening. I mean, I don't think you can say it much.
We're paying these people to take our rights away from us, to kill kids. What else? I don't know. We're giving money to Fiji and what's the other country?
Oh yeah.
For football. What the hell?
Yeah. for the for the NRL.
We got homeless Aussies on the streets who need homes,
Yeah,
can't eat, and we're sending money overseas for football. That's so silly. Come on.
yeah, it's ridiculous. I think I've almost found it. Oh, okay, that's all weird. Anyways, I can't find it. Well, I found this is from Australians versus the Agenda. He said 26 people voted yes. This is in the Senate. 26 voted yes, 15 voted no.
Mm.
Uh, it says he says Alex Anthony was the only coalition member to speak against the bill in the Senate. Greens and One Nation opposed it. Malcolm Roberts spoke against the bill. David Pocock, he voted no too, so that's something. Only Labor voted for the bill. Okay.
Mm.
So that's the Senate, though. I don't know what the House of Reps was like. I want to know what the House of Reps. Anyways, that's all right.
It's an intimidation bill, and it's unethical, and
Oh yeah,
it's sad. It really
oh
is.
yeah.
It's such a decline, and I know there was a bit of optimism before talking to Martin Proctor, but there is honestly I don't think there's anything to really look forward to here in Australia. Honestly.
I know. I think there is hope. I think there always is hope. It's something. I went to the recharge a couple of weeks ago, and John
Mm.
Anderson. He was talking about this. That we've always like he said everything that's going wrong, and he's like, we've still got to have hope. Because if you don't have hope, you've basically got nothing.
Oh.
And I think it's somewhere in the New Testament that when we put our hope in Christ, that our hope is not in vain. So yeah, I think there's always
Mm.
hope because like look, we always think that our situation is unique, and it always is to some extent, but to another extent, every society lives through dictatorships, authoritarianism, genocides, mass
Mm.
starvation, plagues, natural disasters. All these things are like history repeating itself over and over and over again. And God still keeps us going. It's just like, yeah, there was this thing over here that everyone was like, oh yeah, Christianity will die in 50 years. And then that didn't happen. So I think there always is hope, even when it doesn't feel like it. I think, well, especially when it doesn't feel like it. So yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, there's hope if you've got a passport and a visa. Like Senator Ralph Babette, like he's based for going overseas. I don't blame him.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't gone
Um,
yet. Well, like he's gone on trips and stuff, but
I think he will
um,
go overseas after he's done with his.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
he
because
definitely will.
he knows what's happening.
Oh yeah,
He's up there
yeah.
with the idiots, and he
Well,
knows.
I'm seeing I'm seeing that more often, all the time. That people are recommending that you go to another country like South America or one of the Arab nations and build your
Mm.
wealth up there. And then if you want to come back, you can, but you probably won't.
Even in New Zealand, there's like it's lower for the capital gains tax.
Yeah,
Even in New Zealand, they're doing better than us.
that's crazy. Wow, the Kiwis.
I know we're so cool. We're that cooked.
We're that cooked that the Kiwis are doing better than us. Yeah. And something else that's going wrong is Australia has 1 million, sorry, not 1 billion, $1 trillion of debt.
Hell yeah.
And just so everyone doesn't forget, they paid off all of the debt like 20 years ago. Like they got rid of all of it, and we're back up to 1 trillion now.
So that was the not yeah.
Yeah,
Howard
yeah,
and Costello, wasn't it?
yes, Yes, Howard and Costello.
So
Not
yeah, well, that was Liberal. That was when the Liberal Party was awesome.
yeah. Well, they were okay then, but they were a lot better than now. But
Oh, yeah,
I
well,
wouldn't.
now they're
I wouldn't.
terrible, but back then they were
Yeah,
awesome.
I wouldn't give them awesome. I'd say they were good.
Oh, oh, come on. I think they were pretty awesome. I know they did pretty good at the time. They did a lot of good things. I think
Yeah,
after I don't know ScoMo.
yeah. No, even before that, they weren't great. Like after Tony Abbott, that's when it. Yeah.
I think Tony Abbott was like the last good
Oh
kind of.
yeah, 100%. He was the last good prime minister in general.
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, he was the last good prime minister in general. I think ever since Tony Abbott, it's just been um, escalating to Albert to this
Yeah,
the final boss,
the final boss of destroying the economy and everything else. Uh,
Antichrist final boss. No, that's
well, you're cancelled.
you
You're
get.
fired.
I sound like a Baptist now. No, Albo's all
Oh
right. He's
no,
not that bad. He's all right, but he
no,
just
he's
needs to resign. That's all. He's okay
yeah.
though.
He just needs to become a Christian and repent, and then we'll
Mm.
hang him at the stake, and then everything will be okay. Um, now the financial.
Whoa.
No, I'm joking. That was a Catholic Church thing. We don't do that anymore. Um. Anyways, I'm
It's
looking at the
offensive. It isn't very nice.
uh, I'm looking at the Australian Financial Review, and I shall bring it up. It says interest. Well, the title is "An End to Exceptionalism: Costello's Warning on $1 trillion in Debt." Interest
Mm.
repayments have become the fastest growing major area of Commonwealth spending after federal government debt breached $1 trillion, not 100,000, not 1 million, not even 1 billion, but $1 trillion. Anyways, prompting former Treasurer Peter Costello to warn the milestone signals the end of Australian exceptionalism. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Taxpayers are now spending more on interest than they do individually on the army, unemployment benefits, childcare, or public schools.
Apply for your
He
passport,
says,
ladies and gentlemen. Apply for your passport.
another statement, you're not a strong economy if you're relying on debt all the time and we're not doing anything about it. It'll cost more to borrow and to roll over the debt. It's not just the federal debt, but it's the states as well. Wow, look at that. Look at that.
Howard.
Well,
Look at Tony Abbott. He stopped it.
no, he didn't.
Oh no, well Abbott, Turnbull, Morrison. Morrison, look at Morrison though, he upped that.
Yeah. So Morrison was the prime minister, I think, from 2019.
Mm.
And so that's when it spiked. So, okay. So this was actually Abbott here. So
Yeah.
he wasn't. So all of that is Abbott.
Yeah.
And then I think this bit here was
Oh no, well
Turnbull.
2013 to 2015 was Abbott, and then after that was
Oh,
Turnbull.
that's right. Okay.
So it went
Oh, okay.
steadily. Yeah, it's not too bad.
So it's okay. So it's from there to there.
See how it stagnates there, but that was after Rudd and Gillard, Julia Gillard and Rudd. Were
Yeah, look at
horrible.
that. Look at that. Like 55
Yeah.
all the way up to 257 billion.
I need a hero.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
And then Abbott comes in.
Yeah.
And then
And he sort of doesn't really help. But Mr. Morrison, mate.
oh my gosh.
I don't even know what to say.
That's how much was that his trip to Hawaii?
That was bad. That was badly timed, but yeah, what could he do?
Bad timing.
But let's see. So from the pandemic, went up more than 300 billion. That's,
Wow.
oh my gosh, I can't even. I can't even. So Albanese's actually been better than Morrison for debt, at least.
Oh, well, good on you, Albo. That's one thing I'll give Albo.
I'll give him a small clap for that, but he sucks at everything else. Yeah,
I mean, did better than ScoMo, so that's positive.
yeah. See, look at all these guys. They're like, a little bit of debt here, a little bit of debt here, a little bit of debt here. We're going to pay it all off, and then wow!
Like a roller
After
coaster.
Howard, yeah, after Howard, it all went wrong.
Yeah, Rudd. Kevin Rudd. The good
Rudd.
Catholic man.
Kevin 07, as they call him. So yeah, that's that.
I was hearing this this legislation whilst Howard was in. They had this abortion hotline. So it was to help prevent abortion. And it was a hotline designed for women who had found themselves pregnant, and they would call this number and they would help the women try and save the child to the best of their ability. So they would set up adoptions, they would set up just support. Yeah. And that was Tony Abbott, who organized that. And then as soon as this good Catholic Christian man, Kevin Rudd, comes in, he destroys it. He gets rid of it. Like he abolishes something that's really Christian, which is, I don't know, funny. But yeah, like we were doing better on abortion back then than we are now. So we've actually, I know we're talking about progression, positive progression. We were actually doing better back then in the 2000s than we are now.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that till the other day, but yeah.
That's interesting. But there is a hotline.
Is it government funded?
I don't think so.
Wow.
It's called Pregnancy Help Australia. All right. Oh, here we go. Here's something interesting. While we're on this topic, this is the birth rate in Australia from 1924 to 2024. Oh wait, hang on. Wait, where's the actual? Sorry. This is what I was looking for. This is the fertility rate. So 100 years ago, we were at 2.972. And what is a replacement? Our replacement is 1.481. Wait, no, sorry. Where's the? Oh, there. Sorry, 2.1 babies per woman. And so at this point, we're doing pretty well. It drops to replacement level during the Second World War.
Yeah, that's because the men were off fighting and kind of, yeah.
They didn't have anyone to make babies with, so fair enough.
Yeah.
Then it went up all the
Baby
way.
boomers.
Yeah, there we go. They're good for something. They brought it up to 3.548. So that's pretty good. And then it dropped a fair bit here, stabilized for a while during the late 60s and 70s. Then it hugely dropped around 1971. What happened in 1971? I want to know what happened in 1971. Because it dropped here and then it's been going down ever since. It went up in the early 2000s during the Abbott and Costello reign.
Yeah, there was a baby bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was the abortion hotline. Tony Abbott came up with that. He was the health minister. There was a baby bonus as well. It was such a great country just 20 years ago, and now it's a steaming pile of dog poop, as Dave Pello famously said.
Did he actually say that?
Oh no, so that was the budget. Was the budget, but That was the budget, but that's the economy. So you could interconnect it with the economy, the economic
Yeah,
state.
I think that's fair.
Um, so yeah, no, we are going to need immigrants because no one's having kids anymore, and it's not all the economy; it is the culture. That's my argument. It's not just the economy; it's the culture.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like the
Um,
economy is only ever as bad as the culture is.
mm,
So what we're seeing in the economy is just the culture working its way into economic policy.
yeah, and it's woke. Like it's
Yeah,
it's um not going. It's disguised as virtue when it's
yeah,
just negligence. I would
yeah.
say. Um, it's silly. It's so silly. Like at this football. I like what was happening in South America with the Argentinian president. What he did, that famous video where he
Oh yeah,
said cultural
Alfredo,
affairs, Alfredo,
Alfredo.
Alfredo, si, Fredo. So
I
that's what
love
we
that
need.
video. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
we need it.
gosh.
We need a Javier Milei to be like Alfredo, Department of Women, Alfredo, Department of Education, Alfredo.
Just abolish and reform. That's it. Every single sector needs to be either abolished or reformed.
Yeah.
As we
Uh.
know that episode this morning that you had, we need reform with the education system because
mm,
oh, wow, it's so hard. Watch the video if you haven't checked it out already. I think John will share his screen. Is that what you're getting?
Uh. Well, actually, I'm not. No, not
You
where
don't
you
have
want me
to.
to be. But
We're on the.
I am about to share my screen, just not with what you're expecting.
Oh,
This
okay.
is the daily declaration, and the top billing for this Thursday was Riley Battiato himself. The Great Lies, Labour's War on the Australian Dream. We might as well have a look at this, shan't we, Riley?
Huh. And then we'll talk about the episode. But yeah, cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll come back to that. All right, give us a breakdown of your article, Riley, and then stop me if there's any specifically good points you want me to mention.
Should we go through it together?
Sure.
Okay. So first of all, a generation locked out.
Cafe.
So no, no, no. We believe in God on this podcast. That's different. There's only one God.
Yeah.
And he's perfect, not
A-
imperfect.
Amen.
All right. So we um we are locked out of the housing market, and it's a joke because we're as it's there quoted, just work harder. The boomers love to say it, just work harder. I don't think the situation that we're in is in no way comparable to the situation that you were in. You were able to afford a property when you were in your 20s and 30s. And then in later on in this article, I mentioned that according to Seven News, a study done by Seven News, it'll take up to 50 years or a lifetime of work to afford a property in Sydney.
Yeah.
That's
Right there.
us. That's right. Oh, there you go. Cool. Cool. So in no way comparable. So shut up. Because
Okay.
it's
I don't condone that, but anyway.
I do because it's disgusting. We have people working 3, 4 jobs.
Yeah.
No one's, it is the culture, but the economy is the worst it's been. Um, $1 trillion. Perfect day to release this article. Thank you, Daily Declaration.
Yeah.
Um, it's a wake up call because we have people struggling, we have people homeless, and it's a social contract that's been broken. So, for centuries, people have come here for stability. Now we've become unstable, and it is because partly immigration. So, today, that promise is being undermined by policy decisions that ignore basic economic reality. Australia is now accepting new arrivals at an unprecedented pace, with an immigrant arriving roughly every minute,
That's crazy.
and everything else isn't going to keep up with it, of course. So housing, construction, infrastructure, and wages fail. And then we, as Gen Z who can't afford properties, we're propping up these disgusting schemes, and it's helping immigrants afford properties and houses. Like 51,000 immigrants since 2023 have been assisted through these. That's horrible. We can't even get a property to raise a family, and we're funding people coming to our own country so they can have a family. That's a stab in the back to Gen Z by our government. And it's not like we're a poor country or something. We are the best country on the planet. So we are here. It says so. We have sorry. So look. So we have skill, energy, intellect, technology, and craftsmanship, resources that are second to none in the modern world. We have world-class engineers, tradespeople, scientists, farmers, and innovators. We possess vast natural wealth, advanced institutions, and a population capable of building, producing, and sustaining itself with confidence and independence. And yet, instead of mobilizing these strengths in a coordinated national effort, our leaders have chosen dependency over resilience, short-term optics over long-term sovereignty, and growth statistics over genuine prosperity. Yeah.
No, it's crazy. It's a really, really good article from Riley. Any other points you want to make here,
Thank
Riley?
you. I'd probably just go to the end. Go to the end. The final paragraph is the most important. Probably, yeah. So the Australian dream was not destroyed by fate or inevitability. It was dismantled by choices, and what has been taken by choices can only be restored by courage, honesty, and a willingness to put the nation, its faith and conviction in Jesus Christ and its people first again. And then woe to those who make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees, to deprive the poor of their rights and withhold justice from the oppressed. Isaiah 10, 1-2.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And let's see the comments. Let's see who's been commenting. Is the boomers? Are the boomers angry?
Boomers are angry. Work harder.
Let's see well, actually, I don't know who they are, but this is James. James says the great Australian dream of owning a modest home has become a nightmare for many. In the socialist state Victoria stand.
Based.
Property values.
This is a base boomer.
Property values are falling at present, but don't get your hopes up. Taxes are higher here than any other Australian state. That's true. Businesses are closing, corruption is rife, people are moving interstate or overseas, and gloom is in the air where everyone looks. Welcome to the results of more than a decade of socialist left faming society government. Yep. Can't argue.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that. That's a whole paragraph.
Oh,
okay.
We've got an essay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to read the essay. This is from Ian. The Australian dream was not destroyed by fate or inevitability. It was dismantled by choices. We can choose better on who governs the next election. Please, Aussies, make yourselves knowledgeable about the policies of the person party you vote for. Look beyond the empty slogans. Yep, very true.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
And Warwick Marsh, one of the founders of the Daily Declaration, said, great article, very perceptive, Riley. So, there you go.
Yes. Thank you.
And I will put my 2 cents in.
Oh, thank you. Who is this guy?
Who's this guy, Riley?
He doesn't like boomers, but he loves Australia. No, I don't. I mean, I don't like the ones who say work harder, which is a lot of them. And as I say, I take offense to it because it's negligence on their end, because they need to, if they want to have a political opinion, at least know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's
pretty simple request.
Simple request. He's like, it's all I asked for.
Yeah, it's all. I just understand that things change, right? Things change. The only constant is change. The only constant is change. So
that's a good saying. I should use that. The only constant is change.
Well, you're doing better than the boomers because they don't understand that concept, unfortunately.
Like
Economics,
everything has always been this way.
everything has always been this way. Nothing really does stagnate like that. Of course, things are going to change. Um,
And even if they
yeah,
do stagnate, like not for more than like a couple of years at best.
yeah. Well, during the Howard and Costello kind of era,
Yeah.
that was stagnant. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
stagnating. But um, yeah. But it doesn't look unless you're living under a rock and you know nothing about the world, then yeah.
Yeah.
Because look at then compared to now. Like look at archive footage. Have you ever done that job?
What archive footage?
So if you go to if you go onto YouTube and you look at like footage from the 80s or the 90s or 2000s from Australian
Yeah.
cities, like it just I don't know, it has a soul that's missing now. Just
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
It's just gone.
Well, yeah, I've seen like the old footage and stuff. Like it's cool.
It's cool.
I think like what we were as a country, I don't think we'll ever get that back.
Mm,
But I think similar to what Martin said, I think we can push for a better future than we've had before.
mm,
I don't think you can go back to like no matter how much we want to go back to the Australia of the 1980s or 70s or whatever decade. I don't think you
mm.
can ever go back to that time in the same way. Like it's never going to be the same now. That was like we missed the boat. I mean, we were born a little bit too late.
Yeah, we do. But they were some of the greatest people to live there. I am saying I don't like the boomers as much for their opinions, but they were the ones who went off and fought in Vietnam.
They were good when they were young.
They were good when they did a lot for the country. They did a lot for
Yeah.
the country. Same, the greatest generation was the generation that fought in World War II. They were the greatest
Yeah.
generation. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Props to them.
Props to them. And then what else were we going to talk about?
There was this thing here too. We could mention.
Oh yeah.
This is an episode I did with Jasmine Ewan from the ACL. We released it earlier this morning. Feedback's been really good so far. This is the intro. I'll play the intro for you guys so that piques your interest a bit if my mouse doesn't play up. We're talking about a very horrible curriculum today, and that's the Respectful Relationships curriculum.
Respectful relationship is actually promoted as a program that teach kids to respect each other so that it can reduce violence. Now it sounds good, isn't it? But when you look into it,
It's ridiculous that we're teaching to 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. You mentioned the Royal Children's Hospital, and I had a seizure in 2020, and I went to the Royal Children's Hospital, and I was there for about 4 days or so, and they were like, okay, we need to come back in for checkups, and like, you're going to see this doctor, this doctor, this doctor, this doctor, and then the last one we saw was the gender specialist. That had nothing to do with my condition at all.
they do have parents telling me when they become aware of it is when one of these well-being officers called them, telling the parents that you either have a dead child or a trans child.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Here I Stand. So yeah, that's your sneak preview right there of the Here I Stand podcast. If this piques your interest, go have a look. It's already 88 views. Wow. That's pretty quick. Oh, who's this bloke that said great episode? Good on this guy.
It was great to study and listen to it. I suggest everyone does that who is studying. It's really good. It's just interesting conversation about the realities. I actually didn't know much about this particular topic until this.
I don't think many people at all know about this topic. I think it's been hidden under the surface. People assume that all educators have a good motive Uh, so yeah, I think there's a lot of work to be done on this issue, but thankfully, One Nation has committed to scrapping the Respectful Relationships program at the next if they win government, and the Liberals have committed to reviewing it. Uh, which I don't know if what you want to take from that.
Mm.
But yeah, like I was talking to one of my youth from church on Sunday, uh, and he was like, "Oh yeah, at personal development class every week they talk about puberty," and I'm like, "Every week?" I was like, "We didn't talk about it that much when we were at school." And he's like, "Oh, how often do you guys talk about it? Like once a fortnight?" I was like, "No, like once a year." Like that's crazy that we're talking about puberty once a week at school. And this is a Christian school. This is not a public school. This is not like a private. This is a Christian school.
Mm.
Uh, so we've got a lot of ground to break back, and that's why I recommend homeschooling. There you go. I said it.
Took your time. No, yeah, well, no,
So
it's just I mean, Rod Lampard, he last time was talking about homeschooling on the
yeah,
podcast. I
yeah.
don't blame him one bit. Good
Oh
on
yeah,
him.
and it's way cheaper too. Um, because you don't have to pay the exorbitant school fees. Um,
Hmm.
like you do have to have one parent at home. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out a way to live mostly
Which
on one income, or even maybe one and a half incomes.
would that be a theory or a speculative narrative I got from the Sean Ryan podcast? I got that.
Yeah.
So it's a word for conspiracy theory, but speculative narrative.
Okay.
Um, is that probably why there's two income households now? Is so that the children are raised by the state so they can be indoctrinated into this gender dysphoria?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if it's a conspiracy or it just sort of happened that way and it sort of just aligned with it.
Hmm.
Because the banks back in the boomers' time, they didn't let them loan so much money that we can now. Like we are loaning like multiple times our annual income
Hmm.
to be able to buy a house. And that drove up the house prices
Yeah.
because the banks are like, oh, yeah, we'll give you more money. But that means
Hmm.
you have to work more to have enough money to be able to loan it. So that
Hmm.
means you have to have two incomes. Uh, so, yeah, I don't know. That'd be really interesting to find out whether is this a conspiracy or did it just happen
Hmm.
to align?
It just seems
The,
like an
the
awfully interesting coincidence. And look, as you said that, I just thought in the last week made news headlines. People are thinking about going into their super to
yeah.
buy houses now. So I don't know. It's an interesting thought. That's all. It's just a
Mm,
very interesting um, idea. But yeah,
yeah,
I'm not
I
sure.
think so. Someone's going to do some research on it and find out for
Yeah.
us.
Anyone listening?
Is there any researchers out there? Actually, I do know a researcher, but anyway. Um, yeah, there is that. Um, another thing we wanted to feature, which I will take a second to bring up, is the webinar we're having on Tuesday night, which I shall bring up on the screen in 2 seconds. We are hosting a webinar screening. Oh, here it is.
Free and
Uh,
online.
yes, free and online. It's not in person, it's online.
Free and online. Yeah.
A webinar screening of the Born Alive, Left to Die documentary, which lays bare the fact that babies are being born alive and left to die, uh, given no care. They're not even adopted. And the fact is, right, in the late term, in the third term, the third trimester, it's actually safer not to have an abortion than it is to have an abortion, because you can have a C-section. That'll take way less time than a third trimester abortion, because they have to give the baby what's the chemical? I always get it wrong. Potassium chloride. There we go. They give the baby potassium chloride, which I believe is the same stuff they give to criminals on death row, if I'm not mistaken. And so that kills that kills the baby. They put it directly into the heart. Once that happens, the baby is dead in the womb, and they induce labor, and then they have to birth the baby dead. That's how a third trimester abortion works. And I might have missed out some more details on that too.
Yeah, it'll be talked about a lot in our upcoming episode with Zachary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. But yeah, and so that's, instead of birthing a dead baby, you can just give birth to an alive baby that can be adopted. And people get this conception wrong that the adoption availabilities are the same as the foster care system, but they're not. The foster care system is completely flawed. It needs so much of work. But adoption, there are so many parents that are willing to adopt babies, but are being stopped by red tape and by all this stuff. That I knew someone, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, him and his wife, they wanted to adopt a baby. And they no, sorry, they didn't adopt a baby. They were trying to foster a child, and they had to go through this person, and they were asked questions and what their responses were. One thing they were asked was, if your child said they wanted to be the opposite gender, would you support them? And they were like, no. And so they had a lot of trouble with that. I don't know what happened, whether they were able to foster exactly or not. But that's the sort of stuff that's stopping people from being able to adopt these babies. So we're having this webinar screening of this documentary by the ACL. Really good. I've seen it twice, cried both times. And it's definitely worth seeing. Like, it's 100% worth seeing. And we're going to pray after. And we're going to have Michelle Ryan from Life Choice Australia, Peter Winkles from Bird Flip, and Haley J from Right to Life New South Wales. They're going to be joining us, and they're going to tell you what they're doing and how you guys can actually work with them, and get behind the pro-life movement. Because we were talking about this earlier in the episode. The Overton window is on the move. People are changing their minds about abortion. And so the time is now to strike. The time is always to strike, but especially now. The church has been silent, and so now we've got to speak. Yeah. And Haley Diaz, who is a board member, she's going to be co-hosting this with me. So that's awesome to have her on board for that too. But make sure to register for this. It's completely free. Yeah, share it around as much as possible. We've got plenty of tickets left. So please get on board.
Yeah. No, it'll be on Tuesday night, online, because there was some confusion about that. Webinar online.
It's a live webinar.
Live webinar. Yes. Yes. For those who unfamiliar. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll be very good. Hopefully, because if there isn't enough people, then I guess they're going to be like, "Oh, I'm never doing an event with you. You can't bring a crowd." So I'm going to be like, "I'm not going to do an event with you because you guys can't bring a crowd." No, I'm joking. This is all a joke. I'm a very humorous person. I'm sarcastic. But yeah, it should be a great time. Make sure to get your people there. So yeah.
You want to see something cool?
Sure.
It's the Donald Trump pen. Look.
Why?
It's Joe Biden's order pen. It's the order pen from Joe Biden.
Oh, that's great.
Way to change the subject.
It's like
Um,
abortion. Trump.
Trump. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of events happening soon. So
Yeah.
we've got the webinar. We've also got the marches. So on the 10th of October, the March for the Babies in Victoria, March for
Yep.
Life on the
Something of
12th,
September.
12th of September, I think.
It's like it's a Saturday. I think
Oh,
it's like the 19th or 17th, somewhere in there.
19th. But the 12th is something else. I think.
That's the Rally for Life. Not
Rally for Life with Dr. Joanna Howe.
yeah, for the sex
Yeah,
selective abortion ban.
yeah. Down in Tasmania, there's the conversion laws. That's important
Yeah,
to definitely to know what that is, and that is like the ASIO legislation. It's
literally.
taking the rights away from people once again. So go to the march on the 30th and look into this. So our team have been working to help fight this bill, but it's hard when the country's run by all states except for Queensland or Labor.
Mm. Yeah, well, I mean, the
So
Liberals aren't doing much up there in Queensland anyways. They gagged the Parliament for
no,
talking about abortion for 4 years. So
yeah. So it's
we're
been
doomed.
difficult,
No.
but
Avengers
it's a bit
Doomsday. No.
no, no, no. No. We should be fine. We should be fine. But there just seems to be a lot of legislation at the moment that's unethical.
Mm, yeah,
Um,
definitely. So we got to fight
liberta-
back. That's what we do.
Libertarian Party is actually pretty good too, I must say.
They're okay. Some of them are. It depends which ones.
Depends.
Some of them are cooked, and the other ones are not cooked.
Conservative libertarians are better.
Yeah, but even that's a spectrum. Like here in Victoria,
Mm,
David Limbrick is quite good on a lot of issues, not all issues, but he's good.
mm,
John Ruddock in New South Wales, he's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
But some of the other guys are not so based.
Mm, yeah, okay.
So you got to do your research.
Yes, boss.
Yeah. Well,
Have
I
you got any
reckon
comments at all?
comments. We've got so many comments today. I'm lying. We actually nothing on Facebook, nothing on YouTube.
Anyone watching?
Instagram, we got one early. Good stuff, boys. That was from Ben Davis. I think Warren Pickering was watching earlier too. Um, but yeah, that's we got nothing.
All right.
I reckon we go with the word association game and we finish it here.
Okay.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Or I think you can go first. I'll
All right. um, ASIO.
very unethical and authoritarian, I think. Mm,
Okay. More than one word, but anyways, that'll do.
okay. Authoritarianistic. There
Okay.
we go.
Okay. That's good.
Um,
Good.
ooh. Hmm. New Zealand.
New Zealand. Irrelevant. That was a little bit much. That was a little bit much. We like our Kiwi brothers and sisters, but not like I like the people, but the country itself is irrelevant to the world. Like if it didn't exist, like nothing would change. Like there wouldn't have been like that mass shooting or whatever it was if New Zealand didn't exist. So yeah, okay.
Right.
Well, I've got the next word. Okay. Let's see. The CCP.
Hmm. Authoritarian once again.
You can't use the same word. You got to come up with a new one.
Got a bit of diversity because it's our strength. Fair enough. CCP. I would say controlling because they
Okay.
are controlling. Yeah.
Controlling. Okay.
Boomers.
Boomers. One word to try and describe the boomers. How am I going to figure out one word to describe the boomers? Uh, boomers. Landlords.
Hmm.
I couldn't think of anything else. I was just like, yeah.
I was gonna,
Eh.
yeah. Well,
I know you could have thought of a few other things.
I have an encyclopedia of words right now,
Yeah.
just aligned. Okay, now you, your
All
turn.
right. Yeah. Let me think. Elon Musk.
Um, uh, bad taste.
Oh, okay.
Not that it matters because he has so much money, and I'm nothing compared to him. But
Okay.
um, let's say, hmm, Joe Biden. Joe Biden.
Ooh. Um, Frail.
Frail. Yeah, yeah. Generational pull. He is frail, I think, is the
Yeah,
best
yeah,
way to describe him.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Birthdays.
Satanic.
Whoa. Okay, that is the most controversial take of the night. Even though I knew you were
Well,
going to say something like that.
it's Satanism is self-worship. Birthday is
Oh.
self-worship.
Well, it depends though, right? Because you could be like, look at what God has done in my life.
Who
So
does that?
Christians, Riley,
Mm,
Christians.
I've never been to one of those like God gave me an extra year birthday parties. I've just seen the happy. Look, it says happy birthday. It doesn't say God gave me an extra year to glorify Him.
Yeah, but what we're doing is we're celebrating human life. And where does human life come from, Riley?
France.
What?
No, Jesus.
Exactly, Riley. Get on the plane.
The
Not the
plane.
one with the two wings. Like get on the drone. There we go.
CCP. All right. I'm going to give you a celebration now. What's a cool celebration? What's that? Trying to think of different cultures, different celebrations.
Oh, okay. Are
Not
you gonna
Ramadan, because I
throw
know your opinion on
colored dye at
Ramadan.
me?
No, well, no. Well, how about the poo throwing festival in India?
Oh my gosh. How is that even a thing?
What you've got to use one word though to describe it.
Oh, dung.
Dung. Yeah, dung because it's cow dung.
Yeah, exactly. See?
Yeah,
That was quick thinking, wasn't it?
that was good. They had the March for Life in India too, a
Oh,
couple days ago. It was really
oh,
cool.
that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. The YCFC.
Goaded.
Goaded.
It's the best. It's the best.
Oh. GG. GG.
Yeah. Let's do Napoleon.
Great.
Great. Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know enough about Napoleon.
Okay.
I'm not a history buff like you.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should have said something better.
That's okay. That's all right. Let's make this on the final round.
Okay.
Let's go with James Madison.
Don't know who he is.
Oh, okay. I thought you would know because you're history buff. Okay, let's pick a different one. Edmund Barton.
Foundational.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
Uh, um. Fishback. Oh, we did this last time. No, I can't do fishback. What about Byron Donalds?
Byron Donalds. Oh, okay. I'm trying to think of it. I want to say one word things. I don't want to use more than one word. He's APAC. We all know it. He's APAC. He's got a red line under his name. We know he's APAC.
Was
Wow,
not
that's how we're
expecting
finishing the
that.
live stream. That's crazy.
I think it's time to delete it. It's like the files. You gotta delete it.
Delete the files.
Delete the files. Shred them up. You gotta pull a Nixon.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, great episode, Riley.
Yeah, it was really good. Martin Proctor was good earlier on to
Yeah.
speak to. So yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna have him back at some point.
Yes, who's back?
We're gonna do 5 live streams a month.
Did not consent to that.
Oh my gosh. Imagine if we could become like the Daily Wire of Australia, but just Christian.
Could be called it.
The Crusaders. No, hang on. The Crusaders Bugle.
Crusaders Bugle.
Or what's an instrument that's more historically accurate to the time of the Crusaders?
Like drums? I don't know.
Okay. The
Daily
Crusaders
drum.
drum.
The daily drum.
The daily drum.
Daily drum.
The
That
drum of
sounds
the
like
Crusaders.
God's drummer boys. I don't know.
God's drummer boys.
We got to do bloopers for this episode.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah. Thank you everyone for watching another goated episode with the two alpha chads with the Sigma Riz.
The camera.
Thank you everyone for watching. Have a good night. Adios.
What the skibbity?